Hey folks, and welcome back to West Yorkshire Retro Gamer. It's transfer time yet again. It's brilliant. Just keep these signings coming, please, please, please. I want to see a new, what would be classed as a startable 11 to complement the quality squad that we brought up from the Championship. And it's the goalkeeper position that has now been covered in the shape of Lucas Perri, signed from Olympique Lyonnais, if you want the full whack, or just Lyon for short. Brazilian keeper, probably seen as the third best Brazilian keeper currently playing after Alisson Becker and Ederson. So a really good signing this. So if we have a look at the stats, obviously it's just appearances that we're just going to be looking at here because ultimately it's a goalkeeper. He doesn't start playing games outfield, does he? So good career at the moment, a good age for a goalkeeper, 27 years old. So you can get a good 3, 4, 5, 6 years out of him. Minimum to maximum, I would say, out of that, and still have a very good goalkeeper at that, at that point. Maybe even more years. But as you can see, just a smidge under 2 meters tall. This is a big boy. We've made a habit of some tall goalkeepers in the past, haven't we? Certainly Illemelier being the current imbecant. Is that the right word? I don't know. Yeah, Perry's just a smidge shorter, because Melier is 2 meters tall, but 197, very tall, 6'5.5" according to that, and that will be a very good presence in the Leeds goal. From his youth days, Ponte Preta, and then got snapped up by Sao Paulo, one of the biggest teams in Brazil. Played 5 times for them. When you consider that they had Rogerio Sene for God knows how long, it's impressive that they got any appearances for him, quite frankly. Had a loan at Crystal Palace, so he is aware of English football. So that can only be seen as a good thing. Didn't play for them, but he did have a loan there. So he's aware of the English environment, aware of the Premier League. So this is, for me, this is good. But he would have only been very young back then. Only a teenager, I think, possibly. Can't do the maths. Then had a loan back in Brazil with Náutico. Played 33 times. That was his first proper season of football, wasn't it, really, when you look at that? Then went to the Portuguese. Botafogo. No, I'm thinking Boa Vista. Sorry, Botafogo. That's another team in Brazil. Another one of the better ones. Played 54 times over 2 seasons there by the looks of it. Then got his big move to Europe, playing for Lyon for the 24-25 season. So just last season he played 33 times, which is a good number of games, and has been capped at youth level for Brazil, under 20s and under 23s. Just breaking this down a little more. Looking at the stats here, 33 games played last season in Liga for Lyon. Most definitely their number 1 goalkeeper at the time. And by the looks of it, in 2023, because the Brazilian season is done in just 1 calendar year as opposed to crossing over 2, in 2023 bagged a very solid 38 games in the Brazilian Serie A for Botafogo. That loan where he got 22 games in Brazilian Serie B at Náutico, was obviously learning his trade there, wasn't he? Did a good job there. Didn't make any appearances in the 18-19 season for Palace, but he did have a loan spell under, I think it was Hodgson managing Palace at the time. But that will have given him an awareness of what English football's like, the environment, the weather, everything. He'll have trained in it, even though he didn't play in it. He'll have trained in it. So this is good for me. That I really like that. from that point of view. And then with Sao Paulo, he only got one appearance in the league, but he was very young back then. I mean, that was back in 2019, so he was very young back then. So in essence, like in terms of league games, he hasn't even played 100 league games yet in his career, but he's about to, without a shadow of a doubt. But in total, in terms of professional appearances, he has made not too far off 200 appearances, 187 professional appearances so far for Lucas Perri. As I say, probably seen as Brazil's third best keeper at the moment, so that's not to be sniffed at when you look at Becker and Edison, who have both been dominating goalkeeping in the Premier League, for a good while now, at Liverpool and Man City. £15 million is the rumoured fee. It's a club record transfer for a goalkeeper at Leeds United. The previous one being $5 million for Meslier. Previous to that, $3 million for Nigel Martin. So it's a fair whack of change that's been chucked at this transfer. However, he is seen as a very, very good goalkeeper. He's got an absolute walloping throw on him. He can throw it to the halfway line without bouncing. That is an insane arm on him. And in some cases could possibly be even more accurate than a goal kick. It's interesting now to know what's going to happen with the likes of Meslier, Darlow and Cairns, because now obviously Perry's come in, he will be the number one goalkeeper for Leeds United. I don't think there's any doubt in that. Cairns and Darlow are both in their 30s. They're not, are they going to be happy just sitting as backups? Meslier at his age is definitely going to be transferred out now. I can't see Meslier didn't want to sit on the bench at Chelsea when Chelsea were rumoured to be interested, so he's not going to want to sit on the bench at Leeds either. He didn't look all that happy when obviously Joel came in when Allardyce managed, and then obviously Darlow came in when Farkas managed. So I could see Meslier leaving, which is a bit of a shame. I think Meslier will turn out to be a very good goalkeeper and probably France's number one in time. I genuinely believe that. I've backed Meslier a hell of a lot and suffered a lot of backlash for that. But I think there's a good goalkeeper there in Ilya Meslier. I really do. However, Leeds are moving on. As I say, I don't know whether it'll be Darlow. I don't know if it'll be Cairns that will stay on, but I think Meslier will go. I think that if fit, I think Perry plays every game this season. You don't spend £15 million on a goalkeeper and not use them. So yeah, without a doubt, I think that Lucas Perri will come in as the first choice, down to transfer, down to age, experience, playing for Lyon, who at one point were the best team in France, certainly the second best. Things have changed a little bit in the French league now, but Lyon are going through some kind of weird circumstances at the minute, but the Lyon's a team with a lot of reputation in like some of the Brazilian players that have played there. Juninho, their version of Juninho, set piece specialist. What a player he was back in the day. So this is a good signing. I think this is signing number 7 now. I still believe we need what would be a startable 11, brand new, to complement the squad we've got. And at the moment, you're looking at we've signed Perry the goalkeeper, we've signed Gudmundsson left back, Biol and Bohr now the 2 centre backs. So we need a new right back. And then midfield we've signed Longstaff and Stack. You then need to decide if you're going to then sign either another centre midfielder or a 10/attacking midfielder, someone that can complement the more defensive capabilities of Longstaff and Stack. Albeit I see Longstaff as an 8, just a very centralised midfielder with Stack being a 6, who sits right in front of, like an anchorman sitting in front of that back four, protecting it with everything he can do. So we need someone that's got a little bit more attacking impetus, but from a midfield perspective, for me. I'd like to see that. We then need 2 wingers. Paixão looks like a very strong possibility. Leeds have gone in with another bid of from what I've heard. So Paixão could be a strong possibility. I'd still like to think that maybe we'd come in for Daizer Maeda. I don't know, I like the look of him. I think he could be a good player. So he potentially would be another winger. The midfielder, we were linked about a month ago with a young lad called Alvin Sanchez, who looks a good prospect. Maybe he could be that other player. And then we've got Nemecha up front. And I do believe we'll go in for another striker, because we're going to be losing both Bamford and Joseph, or definitely Bamford and possibly Joseph. Greenwood and Gellart haven't gone on tour, so both of those will be going as well. So that's a lot of striking reinforcement that's leaving. So I don't see Nemecha as being the only striker that's going to be signed this season. Pirro looks good in pre-season at the moment, but even just Pirro and Nemecha, that's not enough. We need another striker. So it's going to be a starter with 11 plus 1 in the shape of Nemecha, I would say. But yeah, there is signing number 7, Lucas Perri, Brazilian goalkeeper. Welcome to Leeds United, Lucas. Keep the ball out, please. That's all I ask of you. Aim for those clean sheets. Do everything you can, and if you can set up a few attacks as well with that whopping throw of yours, then yeah, go for it, man. Go for it. I know we like to play out from the back, but in Premier League I don't think we can afford to. I think we're going to utilise Lucas's strong chucking arm. But another exciting signing. It is a good one. So, yep. Welcome, Lucas Perri, to Ellen Road, Leeds United. Work your backside off, and the fans will be behind you without a shadow of a doubt. So we'll leave it at there on that one, folks. Good goalkeeper here, I think, and another piece of the Premier League puzzle filled for Leeds United in the shape of goalkeeper Lucas Perri. Big thank you for watching. Keep an eye out for any of the other new player transfers that come through to Leeds United. I will do a little video on every single one of them, like I have done up to now. Just having a look at the stats and the career of the players that are coming in, and yeah, hopefully we get a few more. As I say, I'd like to see those other positions covered. Paixão could be the next, and if it is, I ain't gonna complain, because he got some like 26 GNA in 30, something like 36 games in the Eredivisie or something. The stats are very, very good, very good. So possibility. But big thank you for watching. Do please give the video a thumb up, like. God, can't get my words out today. Done so many videos today, and they're all getting uploaded, so do keep an eye out for all of them. But do please give them all a like. Do please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will be live later on tonight with my official run for the Old School Retro Gaming League run. The name of the game is hilarious. It's Attack of the Mutant Camels for the Commodore 64. Don't ask. It's some of the games that have been drawn for this competition are crazy, but there are 3 games coming up that I'm going to enjoy playing. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, The Real Ghostbusters, and Bubble Bobble. All 3 of those are games I had as a kid, and I'm going to really enjoy practicing and playing and performing those live on stream. in the coming weeks. But in the meantime, big thank you as always. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.